This is not getting easier, you guys. Oh my God. This morning I posted this on Threads and I said, finding the strength to hit record and record day 3 of my 100 daily YouTube video journey, which is crazy. And after waking up at 4 a.m. last night, because my brain just went on a quest to find the topic, to find something to talk about today and not run out of things to say and things to talk about. See how our brains work. It's like the fear of running out of things to say and scrambling, just what is it? What are we going to say? And eventually, I think this is what we're going to talk about today. The fear and how all the ways the part of us that grapples, that the part of us that just wants to stay safe and comfortable really makes up the best excuses and reasons why you shouldn't do it. So last night at 4 a.m., wide awake, completely awake, I was like, why did I why did I choose to do this? I'm still, there's still time to back up. Like I was having, evil and angel conversation in your brain. Literally that. There was a part of me that, and then there was a part of me that was watching over these two ladies arguing over whether I should keep going or not. And of course, I knew I was going to keep going because when I say I'm going to do something, I am stubborn as hell. At any cost, I know I will see it through. I know I will follow through. I have proof, collected proof and evidence all my life because I know that if I don't, it's going to be harder. It's going to be even more painful because I know I'm going to be hard. I know I'm going to be like, why? Why didn't you? You said you were going to do it and you didn't. I know that voice it's going to make me feel much more uncomfortable than the temporary, momentary discomfort of going through this. Because even if you're not new to recording and speaking in front of a camera and just speaking in front of people, there's something really like I've never quite committed. Where's my water? Oh, well, I guess we're rolling with this because as you know, and if you don't know, here's the truth. No scripts and no editing for 100 videos, for my first 100 videos. So bear with me as I fetch things I forgot to take and keep close. So what was I saying? Yeah, I know that that conversation is much harder to have in my mind. So I'm like, well, let's do it. So because I also know how beautiful it is and how much there is to learn in this journey because I don't think I've ever committed to something this harsh. Well, that sounds bad. Um, it's a pretty huge commitment because what if I get sick? What if, all this conversations were running in my head last night. So the evil part was like, what if you get sick? What if there are noises outside? What if you're on your period and you have no energy? You speak about, I'm saying you, but I was talking to myself. You speak about honoring your body's needs all the freaking time. So now you're not doing that. And there is a caveat because when I recorded day 1, I realized I felt excited. I felt alive. And after recording, which I made it seem a bigger deal than it actually was because it's 10, 20 minutes a day. And after recording, I actually felt so good, so energized, like, oh my God, I'm meant to be doing this. I need to speak more. I need to talk more. I need to take up space, to take more space. And it made me realize how much comfortable I was getting in my own work, in my own business, in my own visibility because I tried all the platforms. I was on TikTok, Instagram, now on Threads, which I'm really enjoying, but it was the same level of exposure. And there were things that I've been doing for years. So there wasn't that, I wasn't putting myself out there as much as I knew I needed to. Yeah. And recording day one, was enlightening. I was like, oh my gosh, yes, this is my body saying yes because I feel alive, because I feel excited, I feel inspired. And all the tech issues, the period, the low energy days, those are part of the process. And we're going to show up anyways because there's so much learning in the process. And I know that the reason I'm doing this is bigger and I don't want to say it's bigger than how I feel, but I know that how I feel is just attached to this older identity, is attached to the part of me that is scared. And as always, there is so much nuance in our experience as humans because yes, follow your yes. And sometimes your yes is driven by something deeper you're not really seeing. Same things for following your no. Like in this case, last night, 4 a.m., a part of me was like, no, we're not doing this. You haven't slept enough. You need to recover tomorrow. Don't inflict this torture on yourself. Why? Like, you speak of self-care, of taking care of your body, of honoring the body as your source of wisdom and intelligence, and it is. And my body also felt alive. As I'm recording this, I feel so excited. And in a way that made me realize, wow, I wasn't feeling like this before. And made me realize how much I was staying smaller than I wanted to be. Because a bigger life, if you're here, if this video found you and you're still watching, I know that you want a bigger life, you want more, you are meant for something bigger. You're meant for more impact, for a life that is pleasure filled, love filled, impact filled, purpose filled. You have that fire. And a bigger life comes with bigger challenges. And that means exposure, that means more visibility, that means really getting to know yourself, to discern when the resistance is something that wants to keep you safe. So it's just old identity, old beliefs, just being triggered because you are stretching beyond your comfort. You're stretching beyond your capacity, your current capacity. So, of course, that's biology. It's like, hey, no, we don't know this territory, come back. Or when it's resistance, that's actually your yes. It's like, no, this doesn't feel aligned. This doesn't feel good. And I always say, it's like resistance is resistance, but there's nuance. There's good resistance. It's actually your inner wisdom saying no or saying, like, absolutely not. This doesn't feel good. And then there's fake resistance, let's call it that way. Not fake, it's real. It feels real. The fear is of speaking, the fear of being seen, the fear of being vulnerable, the fear of failure, of mistakes, of messing it up. It's real. It's real. Like you can feel that. But also, how does this fear, does this resistance play in the bigger vision that you have? Because it's normal that it's part of the game. The kind of resistance that I call fake is real in the moment, but in the bigger name, the bigger game, in the bigger vision, it's just part of the process you have to go through because when you go through that, you learn something that you need to get to the next step, to your next leap. So I guess what I want to say, let's say a few things. Embracing the discomfort and just normalizing it is going to do you so much, like it's going to make the process smoother because it's normal to feel discomfort when you're trying something new, when you're taking a bold leap. Maybe you're moving abroad, maybe you're changing careers, maybe you're evolving in your relationship, in your work. Maybe you're doing something bolder. There's a big decision. You're at the edge of something big. It's normal to feel the discomfort. And the more we demonize discomfort, the more it's harder to live through it and see it through and keep going and stay consistent. So, embracing the discomfort is also having grace for yourself. And it's like seeing the parts of you that are scared uh, and telling them, like I did last night, hey, I hear you. I know it's scary. It's terrifying, but look at what is on the other side of this. And the reason, like personally, and this might be your invitation to look into your deeper why, because when it's just about numbers, metrics, money, like more external things and validation, that has a very low lifespan when it comes to fueling your drive. Because at some point, like it's you're always looping, you're always chasing, and now what? And now what? And sometimes you run out because it's externally driven. So when you are, every time you're at the edge of your next level, your next step, a big decision, tune into and connect to your deeper why. Why are you doing this? Because going back to that will help you get through the moments where that voice, the evil, is going to say, no, 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 let's not do it. So remind yourself, like I did, why we're doing this. We're doing this because I know in 97 days, I'm going to be a whole different person. And even if I have not confidence, but some practice, quite some practice in being in front of a camera, posting content online, this is next level of commitment. This is next level of visibility, of exposure. And also, I realized how before this, I never really weaved my story in as much. And that is one of the reasons I'm doing this to find my own way of weaving my story, sharing more about my own transformation, my own life, my own like lessons, the things I've learned, all the things that during a session I have with clients or during group sessions and group coaching calls or workshops and master classes naturally comes out. But on Instagram or on a 2-minute TikTok video or on a brief threads, I never felt I had the space to do it, but I'm not just blaming it on the platform and the format of the content, but also like it felt comfortable. So I was very okay with that. But on YouTube, when you have like, okay, I need to talk for 15, 20 minutes, what do we say? What do we talk about? And also, I wanted to in an age, I feel like I'm touching upon so many different things, but if you're still here, you are finding the thread. You are, how, how is that saying? You're picking up what I'm putting down. I think that's how it's said. And and now I lost my thread. That's the beauty, the beauty of a brain that works fast. Mm. Now I'm picturing you watching this video like, hey, Marina, it was this. You were talking about this. I'm like, I'm blanking, completely blanking. It was the comfort of platforms. Yeah, weaving my story. That's what it is. Weaving my story. I feel like in the age of where we are now, AI, artificial intelligence doing so much of the content that you can find online. Like every time I open Instagram, it's just, I don't want to say copy paste, but it's sentences that, yeah, I read that 100 times already. Where is the, where is the soul? The soul, where is your lesson? Where is your the connection with your life experience, with your clients' life experiences? So something I've started doing, and if you don't follow me on Threads, this is your invitation to go and check out my profile there, where I share more about like client stories, of course, with the privacy and everything and respect of their journey. I'm never naming names or anything, even if I have permission to do so, because I think it's gets to stay private. But the overarching themes of the transformations I get to witness, and also my own personal transformations, I'm finding my ways to share more of that. This has been a long journey of getting to the point where, okay, I think I'm finding my voice and how to talk about my story. Because personally, I always felt, when coaches and teachers and mentors told me, hey, Marina, so what is your hero story? People want to connect with that and want to hear that. And I was like, there's so many. And not because I'm special, because I know that we go through a lot of things, a lot of challenges. Every life is so rich of experiences. And I don't call experiences either bad or good, they're neutral. It it's about the meaning and how how you live through, who you become going through experiences. And I've, I've, I've had a pretty interesting range of experiences in my life. And I was like, I don't know. How do I pick one? And how do I make everything, how do I weave every single experience in one big overarching story? So I guess with these YouTube daily videos, this is what I'm doing. I will weave a little bit of a story, a little bit of a personal story, client stories from people I've connected with all over the world in the last 20 years. And to empower you, but also to kind of contribute to a wave of authentic content, of authentic connection, which I always and still believe is possible online. Because if you believe in yourself, if you trust yourself and your judgment, your discernment, you will, your body, your energy will tell you when the content is a copy paste of something and when it's authentic. And I want us to increase the strength and amplify the signal, the voices of all the people that have a story and want to share their story and want to tell their story to, to connect, to connect first and foremost, and to learn by being each other mirrors. So yeah, I guess today was my 4 a.m. story and how the different kinds of resistance that you experience in your life. And sometimes resistance wants to be and needs to be heard and honored. because it's pointing to something true that is true for you. And other times, resistance is just old fear showing up and something to work through. All right. If you don't know, my name is Marina, and I'm on a 100 daily YouTube video journey. And every day I hit record, and we're here and we're live. And I'm here to remind you that you're not too late, you're not behind, you're on divine, perfect time. See y'all in the next video.